Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Live with David. And I'm your host, David Burrows, here tonight, broadcasting from Canada for those of you who watch us from all over the place. It's great to be back here, and I'm excited to have my guest. I'm always excited to have guests on, I know, but we tried getting this young lady on here before, and the plans just didn't quite work out. So I was glad we were able to find a spot for her and bring her back. Who is she that we're talking about? We're talking about Vroni, or Veronica Sabah. She is professionally known as Vroni, but she is a young 18-year-old singer, songwriter, performer. She's a youth ambassador, and she's a many great things. And we're just going to, we've caught her from Toronto is where she's at, and we're going to bring her on live. Hello, Veronica. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Was glad that we could find a spot for you here. I know you got a lot of things going on, so it was great to be able to have your time here with us this week. You're in Toronto.
Yes.
Okay, so let's share some background on. Am I to call you Veronica or Vroni, or where are we going here?
You can call me Vroni. It doesn't matter.
Vroni.
Vroni, yeah.
Okay, all right. Oh, Vroni. Sorry, I was saying that wrong. Okay, Vroni.
It's okay. Everyone gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got started. You're about 18, or sorry, you're 18 now, but you're about 13 years old when you started recording your own original music. Is that right?
Yeah, I actually recently turned 19, but yeah, I was 13 when I first started with original work. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how did you get started in music? Where did that come from? Is that part of your family, or what's the history on that?
Honestly, it's really weird to explain, but it's sort of like a feeling that I got because, like I would sing in choirs just like since I was like 4 or 5, just for fun. Like, I didn't actually think like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then when I was like, I think 11 or 12, I like did this like talent show thing at school. And then from there, I don't know, it was just something about it that like I started to love. Like I just went home every day and I would like practice like song after song. I didn't even know, right? And then I felt it. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then I started to perform and then started taking like professional lessons and then made my own music. And now I'm just like doing this for hopefully forever. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So this is your love and passion then, obviously.
Yes, it is.
Why is that? What is it about music? I mean, you talk about. I guess there's a personal side in this for you. There were some tough times in life there that maybe inspired you a bit too. Can you share that with us?
Yeah. So as I was growing up, I really experienced a lot of stuff, and as a kid, like I was bullied all the time. So honestly, the only thing that I could turn to and the only thing that made me feel really good and comforted was music, especially right. Listening to like certain people and certain artists and certain songs that really related to me. And that's what really kept me going.
Right. So yeah. Who would those artists be?
It's mainly Demi Lovato because like she had experienced the same things as me, and she made like a lot of like inspirational songs. So like I would always listen to them and like really be able to relate to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of your writing comes from then too. So how did you've overcome these things, the bullying issues, or you still deal with that, or how did you come through that?
Well, right now I don't get bullied anymore, which is good. And it's also because I'm not in school anymore. Like I graduated high school, like I'm done. So I feel like being in school was like the main thing that like really got me bullied because, you're surrounded with like all these like kids and there's always problems going on. But like I sort of overcame that, I guess, with like it was really tough. Like I'm not going to lie, but I overcame it with just like positive thinking and sort of having certain people like in my life that would always like help me get through it and just singing and doing what I love.
Right. So aside from the music side of it, who what types of people or who's in your life that helped you with that?
Well, definitely my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, they were always there for me. And they like sort of helped me. And every time I would get bullied, my mom would always like be there and like, show up to the principal's office and like make sure that, things were gonna like be okay in school and stuff. So
right. Yeah. So you're classically trained with honors from the Royal Conservatory of Music. Is that right? That's correct, eh?
Yeah. I'm both classically contemporary, both.
Sorry, say that again?
I'm both classically and contemporary trained.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So this is what you want to do then? Is this your career choice or is this?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Like I also do acting as well, but like I'm mainly focusing on music.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the mental health side of things, because you advocate for bullying, obviously, and mm-hmm. for mental health. So what kinds of things do you do? Do you go out in the community, or what kind of things do you do to advocate for that?
The main thing I do is my EP called Illusions. Like I created that EP to focus on mental health and bullying. So I would like go out and do a lot of shows and talk about them, before like singing or like between every song, like I would stand or sit there or whatever and like talk about, like these issues and like how they're very common and how a lot of people like in today's generation, like it's hard for people to like understand what they are. So yeah, I do that. And like I remember like I went to a school once, my old school that I was at, and I sang a song and I also spoke about it. And I just do a lot of stuff. Like I'm actually working on merchandise now to like raise awareness on mental health. And I just keep going to like shows like for like I'm doing this show soon called Autism Sings. So it's like raising awareness on autism, and like I also speak about like mental health and all that stuff. So as much stuff as I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you do a lot of traveling then from where you are, or is this mostly just in where you are? Where exactly are you in Toronto?
Have you heard of Woodbridge? Fawn?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm there, but like, I try to go as far as I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you must, your family obviously supports you in this, and they encourage you to follow your goals and dreams, kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They do.
Yeah. That's helpful, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So aside from, you said Demi Novato there, is there anybody else that inspires you, or who do you sound like when you sing, or do you sound like you, or do you sound like somebody?
When I first started, I would probably say like, because I'd look up to Demi so much, so like for some reason I would sound like her. But now like I say like I would probably sound like myself. Like I developed in my voice so much that like I don't see who else I would, I can't really think of anyone that I could sound like. So okay. I don't know. Yeah.
So this picture we've got up here, Youth Day. Mm-hmm. You're a youth ambassador for your area. Yeah. So how do you get that title? How do you earn that?
I actually knew somebody that was sort of the organizer, but like she had like connections with the organizer, so she sort of gave me, I guess, the title.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's Youth Day?
Youth Day is like it's in a few different countries. I know it's in Canada, and I believe it's also in the US. But it's an event to raise awareness, sort of on issues that a lot of youth struggle with, and sort of empowering youth to use like their talents in music and arts and all that to sort of express themselves and be able to stand out.
Okay, and that's you. So that's you singing there, then, obviously.
Yes.
You get to. They give you the stage to show off a little bit, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's okay. And then what's this picture here? You're playing the keyboard as well. Where's
Yes.
that?
This was I believe 2 weeks ago. It was in downtown Toronto, and it was at a show called Women in Music. So it was also like about empowering women and showcasing like the talents and skills that like women have as musical artists. So I got like to perform a bunch of my original music and talk about mental health and bullying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're pretty active on social media.
Yeah.
How do you use that? I mean, I'm a social media guy. Obviously, this is what I do, but my thumbs aren't as fast as like I noticed before we went live. Like you were sharing this broadcast to Instagram. You even made up a little thingy and a typo. You're probably using an app or like. So you're busy on social media all the time. Is that right?
Yeah. I try to like push myself to always be on there.
Yeah. So how do you, because you've got, I'm looking right now, you've got over 4,800 followers on Twitter right now. And you've got a huge following on Instagram. What do you attest that to? How did you build that? I mean, obviously you're talented and people are enjoying your music, but is it, give us some tips on how to gain those followers.
Honestly, it's about like posting like, I guess professional or like good quality stuff, like not really random stuff. Like, oh, look here, like, you know, a photo of like my drink and stuff. It's like sort of like keeping a consistent like posting of like what I do.
Right.
And just like, I guess just building like connections with people that, you know, like that remain, I guess, like loyal to like my followings.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of followers, we got some viewers here, and we're getting quite some attention. I'll just say hello to our viewers here at the moment, and welcome to the show. For those of you just joining us, this is Vroni. How am I saying that? Vroni.
Vroni. Yeah.
Vroni. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'll probably get it wrong again.
It's okay.
Vroni, and she's 18. Well, sorry, 19 now. Just turned 19, and an amazing singer. I've been listening to your videos that you have online at your website, and I've really been enjoying that. So folks, check her out online. There's her website. And if you know our guest, or even if you don't, you can share your comments here with us on this live show. Now, we're simulcast probably in about 10 different places right now, and we're on Instagram with our guest as well. She shared that around. But if you have some comments that you would like to share, you have to come over to our Facebook page, Live with David B. And if you make your comments from anywhere else, we won't see them. But if you go there and do that, and if you would like to talk to our guest, I am now going to share a link that, bear with me, I can't talk and post at the same time. I only have a couple of thumbs here. There we go. So I have posted a link in our broadcast on our Facebook page. And if you want to talk to us, that is the link that you click on, and you will come into a lobby and talk to us. That would be great. So I see Scott Johnson out there. Do you know Scott?
Yeah, I do.
That's a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Oh, why are you laughing? What kind of friend is Scott?
He's my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. I kind of thought maybe.
Yeah.
Way to go, Scott. Cheering your honey on. And I see we got Pauline out there. Hello, Pauline, and welcome. And we welcome your comments. Of course, Scott's going to say a lot of great things about you.
Yeah, definitely.
He obviously supports you. What kind of things does he do to help you out?
He's just always like, he always comes to my shows and supports me and like shares my links on social media, and he's always like he's always a photographer at my like shows. Like he takes photos and stuff. So okay. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Oh, he's okay. So here's the fun that I get to have. Nice red face. He's making you blush.
Oh, wow, thank you.
And Pauline loves you too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And who's Pauline?
She's my mom.
Oh, okay, mom. So we got the whole family in there supporting you. We got boyfriends and hi, mom.
Boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
Boyfriend. Yeah, sorry. We have a boyfriend in there. We have Pauline. So how do you? Yeah, proud mama for sure. And why not? You should be. Congratulations on that. So you have do you work as well?
Yes, a lot actually.
Yeah, where do you do?
Um, most days I work as a server at a restaurant, which is fun. And then I also, what do I do? I forgot. Oh, I also teach vocals.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I teach like people how to sing, I guess. And what else do I do? Yeah, I just like do like a bunch of like acting stuff here and there. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So how do you I think for people who are watching, I mean, fantastic for you that, I mean, you're very young and you've already got somewhat of a career that you're working on. That takes a lot of courage, So what would you say to folks watching that are maybe your age or younger that are thinking about, I'd really like to sing, and because it's not an easy gig, right? Like there's a lot to it. You don't just you got to have more than just a really good voice.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you do to find your gigs and get out there and I guess get paid to do what you love to do?
Honestly, it's what I do is I'm always constantly just working hard and looking for like things to do and always like trying to, be out there, meet a bunch of people, connect with people. But yeah, the advice I would give people that are, that are also that want to sing or at least want to achieve some sort of passion, especially in the arts, because it's really hard. I would say just like believe in yourself, like more than anyone can believe in you, because like you having faith in yourself is what's most important.
Right.
Yeah, because like there's so many times where people would tell me stuff about myself and they would put me down or all that stuff, but like I just keep going, and then the more I go, the more I push harder, the more good things come and the more opportunities I get and the more people I inspire, so I just keep going.
Yeah, well, it's good to be inspired, and so you're obviously, I always say, hang around the right people, talk to the right people, and that'll help get you there. What about you though? I would say that you're inspiring as well. You're inspiring to others. Have you experienced that where maybe a younger person or an older person or other people have come to you and said, thank you for something you did that inspired them?
Yeah, shockingly, yes, because this is going to sound really weird, but because I graduated high school 2 years ago, and what happened was I got this anonymous message on my Instagram saying, I don't know why this person didn't want to, share them who they were and stuff, but it was like an anonymous message. And they were like, I just wanted to say, like, you inspire me so much. Like, I look up to you so much. Like, you've done such a difference in my life. And like, I don't really want to, share who I am and stuff. But like this person was basically telling me that like I changed their life somehow. And I'm like, what? Like, so I didn't know why they didn't want to reveal like their name, but that's basically what happened. I'm like, wow.
Why is that shocking to you that you inspired somebody? Why do you find that shocking?
I feel like it takes a lot, and most people, I feel, they look up to people that are already like, out there, already famous and stuff. So it's like really nice, and it feels like amazing that someone or people are inspired.
Well, don't kid yourself, because talking to you, you're pretty inspiring. Just you can tell. I mean, you can tell when you talk to a person that they're coming from a good place and a sincere place with their heart, and to steal a quote, I mean, you can be the world to one person, right? And it can take the tiniest little thing. It could be that, 10 you could smile at somebody walking down the street, right? And that might be all it takes. I mean, and you're doing that. And I have to say, like I interview a lot of people, and I've interviewed a lot of people your age. I don't know why recently, but that just seems to be more common, and it seems to be more people using the music to inspire people, like real music, right? Not just not just to get paid. I mean, you got to get paid, and you will, but that's any. So do you have a band, or do you have a regular band, or do you use what's your backup?
It's always different, like depending on the event, or like, if it's like a bigger event, like maybe, but I would like get like a friend or like someone to accompany me, or I would just like accompany myself. Depends like the event.
Right. So it's when you accompany yourself, that's on the keyboard then?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we could get you to travel maybe 3.5 hours to Sarnia sometime.
To where?
I'm in Sarnia.
So, oh wow. Is that somewhere in the U.S.?
We're right. Somebody else who hasn't heard it. Yeah, we're right on the border of the Blue Water Bridge, right? So
cool.
We're 45 minutes from London.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so you'd be about 3.5 hours to come and see us.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll have to maybe talk about having you come down, and
why not?
we have a lot of great events. We have a great city here in Sarnia, and there's a lot of community support for mental health and bullying and that. So I mean, you would fit right in at one of the, and it's constant all the time.
Oh so wow.
It's a fantastic place it's a great community. It really is. So
that's good.
What if it wasn't music, what would you be doing?
I don't like probably like I thought about this before, but probably like fashion designing, like wedding planner, event planner. But like again, like I prefer music.
Yeah. I'm not trying to talk you out of it.
I know.
What? So I'm not sure if I asked this earlier or not. Besides Demi Lovato, are there other artists that you like that inspire you or influence what you do?
I really like to listen to Sia and Adele. Like I always like listen to them and sing their songs. I look up to them because they're very different. Like they're not like like just like everyone else. Like they're very different. They stand out. Their voice, the way they are. They have a powerful voice, and like I love singing music of like people with like powerful like meanings and voices and stuff. So I look up to them. Yeah.
Well, you're certainly headed in the right direction there, and we'll talk about your new album out in just a moment. But just take a moment again to say hello to everybody who's watching us, and we've seen some people coming out in and out. So if you're new and just watching us, we're talking to Veronica Sabah, or Vroni. I think I got it right that time.
Close.
we welcome all of you to join us, and we welcome your comments wherever you're watching. Please come over to our Facebook page, Live with David B, and join us there. And if you want to join us on camera, if you'd like to talk to Veronica, you can do that. There's a link in the description below, and I know she would welcome anybody to say. I'd be tempted to have mom or boyfriend come on, say hi. No, I want to meet these people. I want to meet the people behind the person. Let's talk a little bit about Illusions. This is your latest, your debut EP. And I'm just looking at your website, and this EP Illusions says it embodies what it feels like growing up in a destroyed world.
Mm-hmm.
Define what you mean by that, because obviously you've got family behind you, and what's the destroyed world part?
Okay, this is gonna take a while. Sorry.
We got lots of time.
Okay, good. So basically, it's just sort of like I don't know, like I'm pretty sure everyone sees like let alone like everything that's going on in the world, like all the hates and like the killing and all that, and each song on my EP is based off of a different topic that has to do with like these comments are like making me stop and smile. Okay, so yeah, so each song on my EP has to do with a different issue that goes around in the world. Like I said before, like one was like bullying, and then there's one that has to that has to do with like a messed up relationship, and then one that has to do with what's the other one? Like being just depressed and like in a dark space, and like, and yeah, so basically each song has a different meaning, and when I say like destroyed world, I mean like sort of growing up, like as I described before, getting bullied, and then developing like mental health issues and stuff like that. So basically like my childhood was like, you know, kind of tough, and I know a lot of people have experienced the same thing as well. So I sort of made that EP about growing up in like a tough life.
Right.
Yeah.
So the title Illusions, where define that a little more too. Where'd that come from? And we'll say hello to your proud uncle, Anton.
Hello, everyone. I know more people also commented. But yeah, illusions came from sort of mental health. So sort of being stuck in this like space of confusion and just like in a whole whirlwind of not being in reality. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, we all create our own worlds, right? And sometimes we
Yeah.
try to escape, and sometimes the escape's not real.
Yeah.
We try to create an illusion. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I can dig
Yeah.
that. What kind of things do you do to, I mean, obviously your writing comes from, you know, like you say, your life experiences, and you've talked about the mental health and the bullying. What kind of things do you do to prepare yourself for a performance? Like you asked me if I was going to have you sing here tonight. So, which is fine. I get it. We're not set up for that, but do you prepare? Do you do something in particular to prepare for a performance, or do you just go out? I mean, I know you got to rehearse, but
Yeah.
what kind of things do you do for that?
I always try to practice like the bigger the show, like the bigger the set, the like way earlier like I practice. Like sometimes like I start practicing for a show like a month before. Okay. So like, you know, so I can feel like prepared and confident enough that, you know, this whole show is gonna go good with like the singing and the playing and everything. So yeah, I would basically just like practice ahead of time, and the day of the performance I would not like drink any that too. Yeah, so I would drink like no dairy, no alcohol, like none of the stuff that's not good for you. So I would always like, yeah, warm-ups, ginger, tea, and honey. Exactly what she said.
Well, that's fantastic. So warm-ups, ginger tea.
Ginger
Okay.
tea, yeah. And
okay.
honey.
I don't think I've ever had ginger tea.
It's really bad. It tastes really bad.
Oh, okay. But it soothes your voice, soothes your throat,
yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it. So who is this? Am I going to say it, Matea?
Her name is Tia.
Oh, Tia. Okay.
But,
hello,
yeah.
Tia. And who's she to you?
She's a friend I met at in California for the World Championships of the Performing Arts.
Right. Yeah, talk about that. Let me go back. I thought I saw a picture. Yeah, talk about that. The World Championships for the performing, like World Championships. Like, how did you? You really must have had to work hard at getting to that.
It was really competitive. Like when we went there and competed, there was like a lot of like talented people from like all over the world. So yeah, like I just like literally, oh, thank you. I literally prepared like every single day for like 2 months straight for the competition. So, and making sure I have the outfits and everything. And the makeup and the accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were, I saw a picture somewhere. I don't have it here, but were you part of the Miss Teen Canada as well?
It's Canada's Top Choice. Like I was,
Yeah.
I competed in the teen section. I got third runner-up for Miss Teen. It's a pageant.
Yeah, that's what. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It was. It still is.
So you've had all your friends are here and your family's here and you're giggling over it, but that must make you feel pretty good to know that they're right there watching and they got your back kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still waiting. I would love for one of them to come on here and talk to us so we can learn more about you. She's like, you probably already told them all you're not allowed.
I didn't even know people are allowed to join.
So this, how long's the album been out now?
It's actually almost a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the next project for Vroni? Is there another album in the works, or what's your next goal from here?
So I'm working on new music, like for a new album, and also like a bunch of like collaborations with like a bunch of like producers and like people that I know that are also in music. So like I'm doing a bunch of collaborations and what I want to do and like continue doing is just like still like continue doing meaningful music that also relate to my life and could relate to a lot of other people's lives. And yeah, hopefully like just keep reaching for the stars.
Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you can fall amongst the stars, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What so when you record, where do you do that? Is that you go to a studio like a nearby, or whereabouts?
Every time it's different, like every project is different, but yeah, I would usually go to a studio like usually like in Toronto area.
Okay.
So yeah.
So this is Anton again saying, what's this? We should do something with the what?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. There's an autocorrect in there for sure.
Yeah.
Try again, Anton. Tell us what you're trying to say. That we should do something with the something. I don't read code. Do you play any other instruments besides the keyboard?
Yeah, guitar, but not yet as good as the piano, and I also want to learn the ukulele. Like I tried and then I forgot about it, but I want to go back to learning it.
Yeah, the ukulele is it's becoming quite popular actually. I've seen a lot of different you probably don't know who Tiny Tim is, but
I heard of him.
Yeah, you probably ask your uncle, he might know.
Mm-hmm.
If he's as old as me. Well, that's fantastic. So this is you're on iTunes then? Is that where we find this?
Mm-hmm.
Is it on your website as well? We can find you, or
yes. You can find my music under my website. Like there's you go on my website, you click music, but you can also find it on iTunes and Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify is becoming really popular for independent artists as well, right? Mm-hmm. So that's fantastic as well. We'll have to look you up on Spotify and check you out. And so do you have like a manager, or who looks after the business side of things for you and your music career?
At the moment, I don't really have a manager, but like I sort of do everything. It's a lot of work to just do it by yourself, but like I just do everything, and then I get the help of my mom. Sometimes she like helps me with stuff here and there, but yeah.
Yes, you've got some good guidance in there.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else in the family sing? Does mom sing?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just you, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
but actually not. Sorry, now I remembered. My uncles, they used to be in a band when they were younger, but like that was a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add before we wrap things up? Or anything you want to that we maybe missed, or you just want to share?
Do I want to share? No, nothing. But keep. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So stay tuned for a bunch of new music to come.
Yeah. Okay. All right. VroniMusicThere.com. We got your website up there, and congratulations on your. You seem to be having some success with what you want to do, and I think it is empowering and encouraging to other people, whether you realize it or not, to see somebody, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but somebody your young age already choosing to follow your passions and your dreams and to just go for it, right? Because you got to be happy with what you do. I see too many people doing things that they don't enjoy. Don't let the money get in the way.
Yeah,
what I try to tell people. Do what you love. The money will come. It really will.
That's true.
And thank you so much for sharing your story with myself. And I was glad we were finally able to get you down here. And I would encourage you to stay in touch. We'll probably talk on social media
definitely
regularly, and maybe we can find a way for you to come down to Sarnia and perform for us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the 19-year-old. I need to change that on your website.
Oops.
That's okay.
I will.
That's Veronica Sabah. You can check out her music. There's her website on the screen. Check her out on iTunes and Spotify. And I know the next time we have an interview with her, she'll have some more great things to share with us. Thank you again, Veronica.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Well, that is it for this week, and I do thank you for joining me. My special guest, she was great to talk with, and she's a very talented young lady. And thanks to all of you, moms and dads and boyfriend and mom, whoever's out there, the whole family's out there, and that's great to see as well. So that's fantastic. That's it for this week, folks. Next week, I'm going to have a very special guest on here again. They're all special who come on here, and if you know somebody who would like to share their story, whether it be music or maybe it's you, go to my website, tvsn.ca, and you'll find some information on how you can be a part of Live with David here every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, bye for now.